Dilapidated infrastructure, high cost of debt, cable theft, and so many other things. These are some of the issues power utility Eskom is battling with. The problems at the utility come at a cost to us as ordinary people, as we have to bear the brunt of continuous rolling blackouts. The problem of power cuts has been going on for years now, and it seems it's likely to continue. What exactly needs to be done to end the energy crisis? To speak to us on this, I'm joined by Energy and Infrastructure Finance Specialist Ruse Moleshe. Jose, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. The other day, we just spoke about some of the causes. Maybe we can now discuss, what can be done. May I start, please, away from Eskom? And I want to talk about IPPs. First question is, are we moving with enough urgency in terms of licensing IPPs at the moment?
Thank you for the opportunity. We are moving with relative urgency. We could do better. The challenge is that with respect to IPPs themselves, they have their own time lags. For instance, the procurement process with the Renewable Energy IPP office can take anything from 6 months to a year to finish. Then there's the process of doing financial close that takes time, and then construction. So anything between 2 to 3 years. So we could be moving faster, but there are those legs that are built into that process. That is why we should be also looking at other alternatives, including municipalities procuring their own capacity, including the private sector expediting their own projects.
Okay, let's thresh out municipalities, procuring their own capacity. Or are you suggesting that municipalities should maybe come up with their own solar plants, wind, plants, and so forth? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, some of the, maybe we should say metros, because again, if they are going to procure, they have to have strong balance sheets and strong capability to buy power. But for instance, the city of Cape Town is working on a program where they are planning to, build their own capacity in terms of a few plants, but the biggest element is to bring in IPPs, independent power producers, to wheel power to the municipality so that they can be relatively less dependent on Eskom. So that is what I'm talking about. City of Durban is also doing that here.
Okay, is legislation in place for them to start doing that throughout the country?
Yes, the legislation has finally been sorted out before there were challenges, so they are able to do that. Of course, they also will have to face the time lags in terms of how soon they will be able to do that. The constraints they may have might relate to transmission or distribution infrastructure, so that also will need to be sorted out in certain areas. I understand that the ministry dealing with the environment indicated that they will try to facilitate and help provincial governments to be able to do EIAs and expedite those environmental impact assessment studies. They will try to assist with that. So all of these, a combination of all these different, including customers building their own capacity, are some of the ways in which we can come in and try and address the current challenge.
So as an energy and infrastructure finance specialist, for you, what is the quickest way? I mean, in terms of still on the IPPs, and even just talking about ordinary folk like myself, the quickest way would be what? For me to plonk a few solar panels on top of my house and start generating energy for myself. Would you recommend that?
That is the way that most of the both residential customers as well as commercial customers have been implementing those solutions for themselves. Obviously, there is still going to be a dependence, whether like it or not, on Eskom as the anchor of everything. But at least you'll be able to mitigate some of the risk. Some are using generators, but we know how expensive diesel is. That's another option that you can use. Yes, but it's important for all of us, including demand-side management, where we reduce our consumption of electricity so that we can help the system to stabilize a little bit. All of those solutions combined can make some input, but we need to do things differently because we've been on this path for a long time, since 2007, 2008.
Yes, there has been a long time, very, very long time. Jose, thank you so much for your insights and recommendations, I suppose, to a certain extent. Energy and infrastructure finance specialist Ruse Moleshe, talking about some of the things that we can do as a nation, I suppose, just as a small business, as a family, in terms of saving electricity or generating your own power.